In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set up your outliner and make sure that everything is organized for your scene. So yeah, let's get started. Open up Maya. Make sure you go to your ISO room folder, open up scenes, and open up your last lesson, which should be sub D modeling. Now, if you haven't finished sub D modeling, finish that before starting this lesson. Once it's open, let's go to File, Save Scene As. We're going to rename it Outliner, my ASCII file, save as. Now, I already did the saving because I wanted to jump ahead and do a couple things. So yes, please make sure you click on that Save As button. Now, where the heck is the outliner? It should be this button on the left-hand side. It's this little tree-looking button, a little tree hierarchy. So click on that. You should get something that looks like this. And on the top, it's called Outliner. Outliner. Now, what is the purpose of the outliner? The purpose is to hold all the assets from your scene. So everything that we've made right here is highlighted in the outliner, okay? And this also includes objects that you might not see, so like cameras and lights. So these default cameras and lights are just default from Maya. Don't worry about them, but they are there as well. Now, I already went ahead and named every single piece of geometry. Everything that has like this little square looking thing is a piece of geometry. Everything that has this red arrow with this rectangle in the background is a group. So if you have any groups, go ahead and click on that group, go to Edit and Ungroup, okay? Unless if you did that on purpose. But go ahead and ungroup stuff, and then let's start naming things. So to name things, click on the piece of geometry. It should be highlighted in your viewport, so see how my room is highlighted green, and then name it accordingly. So this is my room, double click, and I'm gonna name it Room Geo. You don't have to add the geo part. The geo just helps me keep things organized. So when I had that group earlier, I would have named it couch_GRP for group, okay? So that's just how I like to keep things organized. I'm gonna ungroup that. So yeah, I'm gonna go through every single asset. So click on each one and see what it is. So I got my shelf, got my other shelf, so shelf A, B, C, or you could call it 1, 2, 3. So shelf 1, 2, 3. I got frame A, frame B, frame C. Got my coffee table, side table, TV geo, media center, bookshelf, door handle, couch, and back cushions and butt cushions. So yeah, make sure that you have everything named and organized. Now the next part, let me double check my notes. I want to show you how to freeze transformations and delete the history. So if you click on your room geometry, if you go to the channel box right over here, you'll see that it has values over here. We're going to freeze them by clicking on the starflake button in the poly modeling shelf. So click on that little snowflake, snowflake. Yeah, snowflake. And it should make everything 0, 0 except for scale. Don't worry about scale. It'll just make everything 0, 0. And then next to the snowflake is this delete history button. So everything that you have over here, every time we extruded it or add a bevel or whatever, will be gone. And you can do that for everything by going to the outliner, selecting the top geo that you got, hold down the left mouse button, drag it all the way down, see how everything is selected, click on that snowflake, and then click on the history button. So everything should be reset 0, 0, 0, and the history should be gone. Okay? Now the next part is, let me show you how to group them all together under one name. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to highlight everything. So all I did was left mouse click and drag. I let go when I have everything selected. And then Command G to group, Command G to group. You can also go to create edit and group and do it up here. You're going to name this group Isometric Room GRP for group. Isometric Room Group. And all your assets should be in it. Now, I also want you guys to do something called parenting. So, it's not what you think. Parenting is a constraint to an object. So, let's say this door, for instance. If I was to move this door, the door handle would not move with it. I want the door handle and the door to move together. So you need to click on the door handle. So this is the child, and it follows the parent. Select the door handle, hold down Shift, and then select the door. So again, child, parent. Once they're both selected this way, click on P. Watching the outliner, what happens? A little hierarchy tree should be happening. So P to parent. Click on this little drop down and see how the door handle is now attached to the door. So if I select the door, it will move and the child will go with it. Or in this case, the door handle. If I move the door handle separately, it will not. It'll just, the child run away. Oh no. So make sure that you do the correct selection. Same thing with these back pillows and butt cushions, right? So you want to click on all the cushions. Whoops, don't click on the couch yet. You want to select all the cushions, then select the couch. So we got the children and we got the parent. Click on P, watching the outliner, how it changes. Everything goes under the couch, like so. So when I move the couch around, whoops, I also parented the room to it. I did not mean to do that. Let me just do Command Z. There we go. We unselect that and then P. Okay, there we go. So now when I have my couch geo selected, I can move it around and it moves the cushions as well. The last thing you want to parent is the media center and the TV. So I want to let you guys figure that one out. Which one's the parent, which one's the child? So if I moved one, should the other move? I want to let you guys figure that out, okay? So yeah, that's kind of like the rundown of everything you need to know about the outliner. The only other thing that I would say would help organize this is to put things with like items. So I was lucky, my shelves were already next to each other. Same with my frames, but let's say my frame was down here for whatever reason. I can select the piece of geometry within the outliner, middle mouse click, and drag it up. You can see that it does a thin white line right there. That means it'll be put in between those pieces of geometry. See that? And you can also parent, like do a very easy parenting system. So let's say I wanted my shelf to be parented with the top shelf. You can actually middle mouse click and drag on top of the other. So now that makes a little parent group right there. But yeah, besides that, that's pretty much it. Make sure you save your file. So File, Save Scene. And yeah, check the Schoology for the details on what you need to turn in. And that's it. If you have any questions, let me know in class.